computer. Ladies and gentlemen, Saeed David Farman and Kerry Cassidy. Today we are talking about the congressional, U.S. Congress talking on disclosure with four of the whistleblowers. Luis Elizondo. We want to discuss this matter today, what they said and what we think. Luis Elizondo, Admiral Tim Gallaudet, if I say his name right, Michael Schellenberger, and Michael Gold. So with these four disclosure folks at the government, especially Admiral Tim, I talked to him a few times on the LinkedIn, and he's not willing to speak publicly at our events, Alien event or Project Camelot, whatever, so far. So with that said, Kerry, what do you think of what you heard today? And you guys know Project Camelot, Kerry Cassidy. Good morning, welcome.
Hi, David. So the UAP hearing that we just listened to is quite fascinating. It's very interesting on a human level to watch these people try to maneuver around the truth and not tell the truth. So I think that the witnesses did a very good job in terms of their own integrity and trying to balance what the government will and won't let them say, as usual. So we're really in the same position as it appears that Congress is. However, some members of Congress are a lot more read in than they lead on. And that may be propelling this whole sort of semi-disclosure type of thing. So, I was happy to see that Elizondo got a chance to kind of state who he was and his background. And so a lot of people are skeptical of him. And that's because he has also been working for basically the secret government deep state for many, many years.
That's
but
right.
At the same time, he does. I read his book, Imminent, and it's a very good book, I think.
What's it about?
I do realize that he is not at liberty to say a great deal. And so that's the problem. But it's also true that they are lying about the Tic Tac. The Tic Tac is our technology. It's Air Force. And it is those Tic Tacs are built for the tall whites. And Charles Hall has testified to this effect on his own video. And I posted that on my channel. So if you're interested, you can go there. And I highly recommend that video. It's very good. He just says one sentence in the middle of the video about it. He just says, the Tic Tacs are made by, our Air Force helping out the tall whites.
When did you talk to Charles Hall, that video?
I did not talk to, I have met him in person. I tried to interview him, but his wife is his handler and she wouldn't let me. So I just heard him speak at an event. I was there in person and I tried to interview him, as I say, but was prevented. So, but I can say that he's an excellent, I read all his books. I've watched his videos and I've watched him speak, and he's an excellent witness. He's military. So I'm just saying that those Tic Tacs, that's what you call a scrubbed incident. So they have complete control over it because it's one of theirs.
They're documenting their own technology. You're right. Yeah.
So they're not taking any liberties with alien tech while showing people the real alien tech, as far as that particular video goes. I'm not sure about some of the others. Yeah, I don't know the background in the other ones that they talk about, like something called the fast something or other.
So two things were exciting about this disclosure. One was Admiral Tim. He was talking about submersive ISOs, and that was for the first time deeply opening a new channel of underwater.
Okay, what's his actual name? That's not the name.
His name is Admiral Tim Gallaudet, Gallaudet.
Gallaudet. Yeah. Yes.
I'm sorry.
It's a French name. Yes.
Yeah, and he's an admiral, and
right.
He's under oath not to talk too much. So all of them. So the other second thing was most important thing was everything end up to in the hands of Lockheed, as we knew it before, but now we know more, and McDonnell Douglas and a couple other ones, plus Air Force and Secret NASA and all those. That these are big groups. They're handling the situation. Is not in the hands of White House. So, Kerry, at this moment in history, how much disclosure should go to public, do you think?
I think everything should go to the public.
Well, if you do that, there's a catch in here. One third will suicide, the other third will pull the gun. A third one, they will destroy the government because of lying. So, what do you think about those three options?
Who's going to destroy the government?
Public.
No, they wouldn't. In a sense, they might realize they're more dependent than ever because, in essence, we're actually fast approaching a war with the aliens, which Courtney Brown and his remote viewers testified to. They've been in touch with a certain group of aliens that told them in around 3 months, we're going to go to war with aliens in an open kind of way. There's also what we were told, or I was told back 20 years ago in Project Camelot, the same thing. And I've been warning people about this. So this kind of disclosure, as terrible as it is a lead up so that people, don't go kill themselves the minute they start to roll out. What they want to be is actually a partially controlled disclosure during a war. So it's going to be both things. It's going to be a real alien invasion, which we already have that. We've had that through the centuries. That's in fact what the Biden administration is, backed by China and the CCP, who are backed by a certain group of aliens. And I wrote an article about this called Why Trump Won, which is on my website and on my Substack. So if you want more detail, you can go there. We don't know what the aliens actually are because we know that China has been backed all along by the reptilians and the Draco and the Greys. But right now, there's some other group of aliens that have joined the club, so to speak, going back a few years now. But it does appear that the Illuminati in the Trump election decided to move Trump forward, and they're not going to try to take down the United States to the degree that they were. Now, that doesn't mean all Illuminati are on board, but this is what we're looking at. We're looking at fast approaching a war of worlds that we have been part of all this time, but it's going to go hot, if you want to call it that. Mm. And the interesting thing about wars with aliens that a lot of people probably don't even know, which I was surprised about, is that it doesn't last years. It could actually last 5 minutes. It could last, 20 minutes. It could last, a few weeks. In other words, because of the type of weaponry they have, the type of weaponry we now have because we reverse engineered it. And this is partly why our military will go to bat against the negative-based aliens that they've been partnering with in order to get that technology for years. So we're coming into a parity, where the game is now more even. We are not just in a vulnerable a situation as we used to be with aliens. So this is part of the reason we're having a disclosure of a kind, but they're not disclosing enough. Obviously, they talk about the craft, which is how actually UFO disclosure started in the ufology community. They used to always just talk about the craft. They never talked about the beings because they're afraid to talk about the beings, because that's a whole can of worms. Because those beings, a lot of them, have the ability to go interdimensional, meaning they can come and go from this dimension very quickly. So can their craft, and so on.
Do you believe on this hypothesis that the reason we have so many nukes in this planet is countries, they have them in order to attack the alien crafts, the motherships, or other planets in the future? Have you ever heard about that?
I'm not. Can you say that question again? What are you asking me?
I've heard, and I believe some part of it's true, that the reason we have so many multiple nukes in these multiple countries is because
we have so many multiple whats?
Nuclear
nukes.
nukes.
Okay, I couldn't understand your
well,
accent.
I'm too far from the mic.
All right.
So the oops, I dropped on Facebook Live. So sorry, Facebook. My now we are back on recording. So the reason we have so many nukes is to attack alien motherships or other planets. They can take the nukes, like they took it to the moon. They wanted to see what the reaction would be. They nuked the moon, and one incident or other stuff is not for the nuclear wars in the planet. Do you believe in that?
Right. Well, what I believe is that there are a lot of weapons that are much more efficient and actually probably better as weapons than nukes. So there are many nukes that can power like an underground base. It's like a power source. But as far as the weaponry, I'm not an expert by any means on weaponry, but according to my whistleblower testimony, most of the best weapons are EMPs, particle beam weapons, some form of laser, like in Star Wars, that kind of thing. In other words, they can target individuals in a crowd that by frequency alone, they read your signature. So I think that these are more surgical kinds of weapons, and they make more sense in war than just, blasting a huge amount of people, right?
Yeah. And what do you think about Elizondo? He said a lot of stuff, and
yes,
you know him better than me. I don't have you spoken with him in person, or have you met him?
No, but I have talked to his assistant, who has agreed to do an interview with me, but he said not now.
Okay. So
people that do that to me.
Yeah.
But I think she says he keeps it. I really do think he's probably just a plant, but I believe that he is that he can in a very difficult situation. I do also believe that he was sort of slated to go the direction of what his inclinations were anyway. And so I think that it's kind of like they treat people.
Kerry, your internet comes and goes.
Anyway, so they made what?
Your internet comes and goes. You have windows open. You want to close them, or maybe it's mine. I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm not losing anything, and I don't have very many windows open, so I don't know what to tell you.
Mine, yeah, okay.
I mean, it's okay on my end.
Let's keep going on this. So, what else?
Okay, so I think that I think they actually put him through these paces. It's kind of like a form of torture, if you understand what I'm saying. In other words, they knew he would disclose eventually. So they actually made his path more difficult from within the deep state so that he would become a whistleblower. So that, but then they basically tell him what he can and can't say and so on. So he wouldn't go off the reservation completely.
So
it's a saying.
This thing is so much stacked between departments and what's the right English word? My language. It's a level by level, corporation by corporation, and I used to work in computer industry. We used to make servers for Air Force and stuff. So I knew that even making a server, I couldn't talk to the engineer next aisle because his classification was higher than me, and we couldn't discuss a lot of things that we should have known about this server going to the Air Force. And the Air Force guys was asking me a question about, does this do this and this and that? So this is just a server. Now you get to UFO. God, it would be million classifications and drawers that you cannot talk about this between million people and different Lockheed and McDonnell Douglas and all this stuff. So, or Pentagon, or this is very deep. And even if I just want to ask there's a fund for in the government for disclosure, UAP disclosure right now. Why they don't release some of those funds to Project Camelot or Alien Event, Cosmic Command? We've been
well, you know, over these years, most of people like me, and I've been doing this for 20 years, but there were people before me that were disclosing. So our information, if they had just started from there, we would be further along. But Congress does not even want to acknowledge that I had whistleblowers. They like David Grush last, you know, not this time, the time before. He said this is the first time anyone talked about crash retrievals in history. And that's completely wrong. So we've been talking about crash retrievals in Project Camelot for 20 years. And our witnesses are military witnesses, okay? And some of them have died since then. You know, some of them have been killed, but we have recorded interviews with them that are very valuable. So we're really in a stage where it's like part of the society is catching up and know nothing. And then some of the society knows a great deal. And the ones that know a great deal know that the Congress, even the Congress, are lying. Okay, because they're not disclosing what they know. So it's kind of a mess, really. Now, if it's going to come together in the scene that they're trying to create, that will be like a Project Bluebeam, a fake alien invasion with real aliens also. So it's going to be a mixture. And they've been preparing the public through Hollywood more than anything, and television more accurately than they have even in these hearings. So pretending the way they are to be so stupid is very, to someone like me, it's just very annoying and very, they all seem really stupid to me. I'm sorry.
They have to prep the public for disinformation.
They're acting stupid, though. They're acting, you know, it's terrible when you're acting dumber, even dumber than you are. And I don't think these people anyway, but they are super dumb. And they're acting so dumb. So it's very frustrating to listen to them act as though, you know, something that's been in our skies forever and has been photographed, I mean, zillions and literally zillions of times, even by everyone, their cell phones, this, that, and the other. And plus we have contact. So a lot of humans have been abducted, had direct contact, have good memories, and so on. So the rest of us that actually know this reality, and I myself was abducted when I was a kid. You were abducted, I believe. And, you know,
out of bed taken, yes.
A what?
Out of my bed taken one morning.
Okay. So, okay. Well, why don't you tell your story then, since we're here? And I can't take a long time anyway to talk, but why don't you, do you have it? Can you tell us a little bit about your abduction?
It was more than 20 something odd years ago, maybe 30. I was young.
Okay.
And I was paralyzed in the bed. I've said that before, but I can bring it up again. I was paralyzed in the bed, taken to the craft, very technological craft. And, you know, 4 feet technicians, not the, what you call it, grays, but they were different kind. They were very between hybrids between humans and not grays, and they were like tiny humans, we could say. And then they were testing me and stuff, and I could not move. And then the big one, it wasn't a tall white, but a very high level being came in with a kind of a shiny, all white, that the dress was so clean and so shiny and so white, and he was so eminent, that vibrant, that I was amazed even in his presence. And then he went and oversee and talked to all these little ones, and they were studying my whole life in less than a minute, and I could see they're looking at all the files. They have access to all the Akashic record on their computers, who you
Sure.
are, and they can see every event in my life, and they saw it, and they went through my physiology. Even I had an operation in my stomach. They saw that. They were talking about that, and they were prepping me or looking at me for some project. I don't know, but that's what happened. And
Okay. Did that happen in Iran?
no, in America, in Los Angeles.
Okay. But
Mhm.
you were born in Iran?
I was born in Iran, 55. I came to America 79. This was probably, I can't come to an exact date, but it was before I got married in 88. So uh, I'm divorced now. So that was in the 80s. My apology for dates. I'm an old man in Alzheimer. Not yet.
Oh, okay. Well, did you have any interaction since then, since that time,
Yeah, a few other ones. Yes,
with other aliens?
with different ones.
Okay.
Because one time I got a phone call from one. I knew it's from outer space,
All right.
and he was repeating my name, and
Oh,
it was the way he was coming in. He was very loving and like is like we know who you are. We salute you, things like that. And that was it just shocked me, like a phone call.
did he speak English?
Yes.
Okay. And so he could have been an AI, you know.
This was many years ago, over 20,
Yeah,
30.
but aliens were AIs back then as well.
Or there could be some governmental in the craft joking with me, yeah.
Sure.
And or not joking,
You
one
know,
more
the
time.
Nazca aliens, you know about the Nazca aliens?
Of course, yeah.
Well, they go back 2,000 years and they had breastplates and they've been proven to be AI.
One more time, I was taken to a craft out of my couch. Suddenly, you have a vision. You're in a craft in another planet. I was looking down at the planet, and I saw architecture that I cannot believe how even architecture a city can be built like that, because it was no sharp edges. There were kind of homes, and I didn't see any occupants in the streets or what. Maybe they were inside, or maybe that was future or whatever, past or whatever. But I was just enjoying looking at this. It's just a feng shui of our energetic of architecture was make you feel good, and I was
Okay.
loving it. And I said, I wish we could design this stuff in our planet, and not instead of sharp building, tall buildings. There was no such a tall, sharp, and we
Okay.
don't need it.
Now hold on. I'm sorry. I'm getting a call from I'm supposed to do another show. So hold on a second here.
Yeah, we can hold it.
Do this a minute. Just wait.
Yeah. So audience, yeah, we have come to Alien Event Los Angeles. We just our 30 I believe is our 35th, yeah, or 30 34th and 35th 34th in Los Angeles, April 4, 5, 6 at Sonesta LAX Hotel. We are waiting for you guys. Go get your tickets, alienevent.com. Kerry, Cassidy, and Tony Morris, speakers, and myself, we will bring you the latest information on Alientology, ufology, disclosure, and all that jazz. And way above what they say on the congressional U.S. Congress. So make sure you show up. If you cannot come in person, you can stream live, excuse me, stream live on the website alienevent.com, alienevent.com, and or 5devents.com, or biomedexpo.com. We also have a health and wellness exhibitions and expo at the same time. The ticket will cover all that stuff, and the conference on health also, plus alien stuff. So, and we also have in 25, so we have April 4, 5, 6, Los Angeles, 2025, and we have September 26, 7, 8 in Las Vegas. Alexis Park is on Las Vegas. We have alien event in Las Vegas next year also. So if you want to speak, attend, sponsor, or exhibit, call us up. And our phone number on our website, email info@alienevent.com and or David at alienevent.com. And keep in touch and come and enjoy the shows. The latest in disclosure that nobody can is allowed under contract to tell you guys. We know it by heart. So by research, by Akashic record, by messages, by all above, we can tell you the reality. Go ahead, Kerry. What's
Hi.
wrong?
No, it's fine. Sorry about that. I'm about to do another show, and that was my guest, and so I had to make sure to answer the phone. So I think that we were only going to be on here for a half hour. So do you have any other questions that you want to ask me before I go?
I'm all good, except public should know you speaking at Los Angeles Alien event with 20 more people and myself and April 4, 5, 6, Friday, Saturday, Sunday at Sonesta LAX Hotel, 5-star hotel, beautiful. And everybody should come, or if not, stream live. Alienevent.com is the tickets, and Kerry is our keynote speaker. And we love her, and she's the mother of disclosure. So thank you so much, Kerry.
Okay. Thank you, David. Take care. Okay.
Yeah,
Thanks for
everybody have
watching.
a good day. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye bye.